Back locally now in Clark County, health officials recommend schools pause wrestling programs after hundreds of COVID cases were linked to tournaments. Today, parents weighed in at a public meeting, and our Alma McCarty listened in, and parents had a lot to say, Alma.
Certainly. It was a mix of reactions from parents, but as you can imagine, some were frustrated and upset at the recommendation to halt high school wrestling for a few weeks. Health leaders listened to families today and explained why they made the difficult recommendation last week.
Dr. Alan Melnick, public health officer for Clark County, announced Tuesday morning that state health leaders now estimate more than 350 COVID cases, all stemming from multiple school wrestling tournaments across the state earlier this month. That's up from the 200 cases previously reported to be linked to those events. Currently in Clark County, public health reports 37 COVID-19 cases among wrestling teams at 7 schools and counting, among both vaccinated and unvaccinated members and coaches.
These numbers are going to change pretty rapidly.
Dr. Melnick explained his reasoning for recommending public schools suspend the sport until January 3rd, a call he made late last week.
Given what we were seeing and concerned about Omicron, the idea was to interrupt the virus transmission occurring within the teams and prevent the outbreaks from spreading into the schools and the community. And we certainly have and continue to recognize and appreciate the importance of athletics and other extracurricular activities for Clark County youth. We did not make these recommendations lightly.
However, many callers felt differently, that the sport was being unfairly shut down.
This is affecting every other sport as well, but it is only being brought down on the wrestlers.
If we are serious about equity and inclusion in this Clark County, we should be serious in seeing the injustice that is being taken place and targeting wrestling.
With insubstantial data, I feel like we're making a drastic recommendation.
Kids need to be considered as individuals, and they need to have the ability to grow mentally and emotionally as well as physically.
This should not be going on. You guys should do the right thing and allow our children to wrestle and do what they love.
It's important to note that not all of the callers today were against pausing the sport. Some agreed with Dr. Melnick and said the board should listen to health recommendations by healthcare professionals. And the board chair said that she appreciated hearing all of this, but reversing the wrestling pause wasn't something they could change or vote on today.
Okay, so Alma, why exactly was that? Why couldn't they make that change?
Well, basically this was a recommendation. It's not a mandate or requirement by Clark County Public Health, which each school district individually agreed to accept with and comply with.
Okay, so now the other thing about this is we know COVID outbreaks can really impact any sport. Has the state made any recent changes?
Yeah, in fact, they did. The Department of Health released new safety guidance for high contact sports that includes required COVID testing for all coaches, athletes, trainers, regardless of their vaccination status.